Welcome to One More Game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I'm your host, Matt Brandenburg, alongside my coughing, still ever sick. Seriously, you are somebody who always takes pride in how you never get sick, and now you've been perpetually sick.
Like 4 months.
Feels like it. So yeah, Abby, somebody in last week's episode actually said, are there two guys doing this podcast? What's going on? So yeah, you're still feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah,
now I'm starting to feel it a little
great.
bit too. So we might be starting to pass a little spring bug around, which are the worst. The weather gets nice
Right.
and then you get sick. So
I don't know. So
I hate
sorry.
that.
I apologize in advance. I will probably start coughing, but I'll do my best to keep it under control.
yeah, do your best. At least you don't have like the mic right in front of you, like when we're in the studio, and so you're like
I coughed into
coughing right into it and startling
it.
everybody.
That was really funny. Sorry, guys.
So yeah, so we got the water ready.
Yeah.
We're on our couch in the sitting room. What do we call this room now?
Yeah, the sitting room.
The sitting room. And yeah, we've given the people a look at various. Just every time we do a podcast from our house, we should be in
like a different room.
location. So we did one in
The living room.
well, in Siesta Key, we were in our bedroom in the condo. Then we came back home and we did one in the living room. Then we did one at the kitchen table. Now we're in the sitting room. Just never know. You never know where we're going to pop up in our house, into your living room or on your phone, in your car, however you're listening or watching. But thank you for joining us for One More Game. This is the podcast for people who love pickleball, but life be crazy. How's life been crazy? It's been really crazy lately. Like, we gave the update a couple weeks ago that you got your real estate license, and still waiting on the great state of Indiana to actually send you your license to process that. So you can't officially sell homes, but we are kind of unofficially going to say we're sponsored by Wieland Realty. Is that right?
Real estate.
Real estate. Sorry, Troy. I'm not redoing that though. But we are realtors.
Yes, we are.
Not we.
Realtors.
You are a realtor. Realtor. We learned the right way to say that. You're a realtor. I'm just kind of watching from the sidelines for now. Yeah. So hopefully you sell lots of houses. But anybody in the greater Fort Wayne area that's looking for a house in a couple weeks, give Abby a call once it's official. So.
Hey, I can do the whole state of Indiana.
Oh, good. So anywhere. But especially in the greater Fort Wayne area.
Yeah.
So that has made life a little crazy. Beer City, which is maybe one of the biggest tournaments.
Like in the tri-state area.
In the tri-state, I would even say like people from all over. And now that the PPA is attached to it,
that's true.
the signups for that were earlier this week. And as we sit right now, you are in both.
I'm in two
events.
But I originally was not in either event.
You were on the waiting list. It kind of takes them some time to sort things out. They're also using pickleball brackets now instead of pickleball tournaments. So I think there's a little bit of an adjustment there. But when everybody signs up, so they had like over 800 signups.
They crashed the website.
Yeah. When we got on right at the time that it was supposed to be, and it still was really hard to get in.
Right. You're not in.
I'm in mixed.
You're in mixed. I'm not. And you're not in
men's.
doubles. Yeah.
Not in men's yet, but I'm hopeful. I think.
They only had 17. So.
Yeah. So that I think they're still sorting that out. And in my division, I'm playing 4-5, 19 plus, and I'm hopeful that we'll still get in
both.
In both.
You got young partners this time. Look at you.
I do. Look at me. Look at me. Gonna try to. I don't know.
Play with the kids.
Carry my load as best I can. You are playing.
I am to avoid you.
To avoid me. Why?
I'm playing.
Why do you want to avoid me? Oh, avoid me. Gotcha. Not avoid playing with me.
No, yes, to avoid playing against you. I am 4-0-19 plus.
You're 4-0-19 plus, and you're actually playing with
Josh
Walker, who I am signed up for on the waiting list for men's.
With doubles.
And then I'm playing. So if you remember when I did that,
the
Duper tournament a month or two ago, and got paired up with Jules from Illinois that I'd never met before. Reached out to her, and it was kind of a funny series of events, but was excited for the opportunity to play with her. And so we are in, as of right now, at 4-5, 19 plus. So we had pretty good chemistry when we played in that team event. So hoping that kind of carries over into Beer City.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And I definitely don't want to have to play you.
Right. I don't want to have to play
I
you.
wanted to play 4, 5, 19 plus.
I know. The way it worked
it.
out. Yeah. And then you were, and in full disclosure, you were kind of like, we can do it. It's fine. And I'm like, no. You're like, we probably won't even see each other. And I'm like, yeah, but if we do, it would suck.
I was kind of like, I was going to win.
So maybe I just don't have confidence. No, it's not that. I just don't. I am super competitive, but I also want you to win really bad. It would just be too much of
I know. But I guess I was thinking, since it was round robin, honestly, 2 people come out of each pool typically to make it into the pool play.
Right.
My thinking was, if we were in the same pool, we could still both get out.
I love how confident you are that we would both get out.
We would.
Or one of us would lose out on some crappy tiebreaker.
Right. That's true. Like some differential, point differential.
Right. So
that's true.
So yeah, Beer City was crazy to sign up for. We are excited about that. It's up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the end of July. It's actually over our anniversary.
I know. So, yeah, it was last year too.
Yeah. So we will.
Our 21st wedding anniversary.
It will be our 21st. Last year was our golden. They don't really call it your golden. Like your golden birthday.
Yeah.
It's like I was born October 27th. So when I turned 27, that was my golden birthday.
Right.
But
so this is our 20th wedding anniversary on July 20th.
Last year.
But
you don't call that your golden, right? Because that's your 50th. I think so. Like silver is 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. I've never been married for 50 years, but
we've never really been too into that. So
no, we're not big anniversary Hallmark holiday.
No.
Type things.
No.
A wedding is not really a Hallmark holiday, though. Way to downplay it. Man. A wedding. Okay. Since you're laughing now, I gotta tell this story. Sorry, we're not getting into this very quickly, but we thought this would be a short episode, but I haven't heard you laugh this hard since earlier today when Abby's on the phone, we're talking, and she's driving. Contain yourself. She's driving through our neighborhood, and she's like, oh my gosh, this lady is mowing with one of those, like, you didn't even call it an old-fashioned mower.
No.
Like, at first you're like, with this mower, and I'm like, okay, what? Cool story. Like, it's a nice day. Lots of people are probably mowing. And she's like, no, it's like, this mower looks like a circle. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then you launched into...
Let me describe it. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to just say what I said.
Okay.
And then we're going to let the people guess what I was talking about.
See if they can.
Okay.
Good luck.
Like, you know, the kid who's a beaver who hangs out with his dad, me and my dad, and he uses the circle mower, and there's a spider on every picture.
Okay. Seriously,
just
put in the comments if you know what the heck Abby was talking about, because I was lost, because she was talking about circle mowers.
I literally did not understand a word you just said.
For the last 30 seconds, I was so lost. So we're talking about circle mowers, beavers, and spiders appearing on every page. I had no idea. So
you know what it is now, though.
Well, yeah, because you Googled it, and I was very curious to see what your Google search would be. Like circle mowers with beavers. Like, that could be dangerous.
I just snorted.
But you actually came up before you...
I had this epiphany of who the author was.
And who was it?
Of the books. Mercer Mayer.
Okay, Mercer Mayer.
But what? I mean, we'll see.
Okay. Right, well, they still could see if they knew what it was. Anyways, so that made us laugh pretty hard. And I said, well, we're going to try to tell that story on the pod.
We did a good job.
I don't know. I don't know if we did or not.
Okay.
So what else? How else has life been crazy? Talk about the Beer City Open. Should we just take a quick commercial break now?
Yeah, we should.
It feels like a good time.
The people need a break.
Okay. Please don't turn us off. We've got a lot of good content.
We do.
So we'll be back after this commercial message, and we'll talk some pickleball. We promise.
Are you new to the game of pickleball and looking to learn the basics? Or maybe you're an experienced player who wants to take your game to the next level? Both Matt and I would love to help.
That's right, Abby. We are both Level 2 IPT-PA certified instructors and would love working with you, either giving you private lessons, group lessons, or hosting a clinic. We also offer unique video coaching utilizing the latest in drone technology. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok by searching Hoosier Pickleball, or email us at hoosierpickleball@gmail.com. Also, check out the show notes for all the links to our social channels. Welcome back to One More Game, presented by Hoosier Pickleball. I'm your host, Matt Brandenberger, alongside Abigail, who really hasn't coughed much. You're doing good so far.
Thank you.
Good job. You still kind of sound like a man, though. Sorry.
Sorry.
Let's talk a little bit. Last week, we had Alex Spancake on from Pickle Mart and got a lot of good feedback on that episode. I'll talk about it more in a second, but I ran into the guy that I had played against in that episode, right?
You didn't. Oh, you did tell me that.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Riley.
Yeah.
Right? And Riley Harden, is that how he says his last name?
I think so.
He was really interested in it. So I sent
Okay.
him the statistics.
Okay.
Obviously, he wasn't thrilled that the game that we chose was the one that they didn't play great in. But I said, I'm sorry. That was the first one that popped up. I said, we really were going to do the other one also, but there was a little data issue, and so it didn't come out right away. That has since been fixed, and I think we did put it in the show notes, right?
It was a busy week.
Okay. Well, we'll go back and
I'll
put
do
it in
that,
those
yeah,
show notes.
I can do that.
But you got to check out how cool that site is if you haven't already. Our show regular and one of our
The honorary Brandenburger.
maybe our favorite fan,
Right.
and I think he said this is his favorite podcast, right? We have had several people say that this is like the podcast they look forward to listening to on Monday morning. I've now heard that from at least 3 or 4
That
people.
is so amazing.
It's really encouraging. So if it's only for those people, I love doing this. So, but Matt Carpenter, what did he say?
He said are you listening, Alex Pancake? He wants the job to put in all the data entry.
For everybody?
Yeah.
Oh.
But paid. He has
The
to be
paid.
paid.
Oh, he has to
wants
be paid. Which I really think is not a bad gig, because if you got fast at it,
Yeah.
I'd pay a few bucks for every game
Yeah.
of
But
mine.
would you pay like 10?
Not 10.
Not 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it
I
takes,
just wonder what would be that.
yeah, if it takes somebody who's really good at it only like 15 minutes to do, I don't know. I guess 10 is probably
But
fair.
you could do 3 games, $30, and you get a decent set of data
That's true.
for 3 games.
Sure. Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah,
I'll pay you, Matt Carpenter.
Okay.
Okay. So what else?
Just a quick update. Our past episode with Marcus Woodhouse. So if you
yeah.
guys wanted to go listen to that, those were maybe back in like January, and he had his surgery last week.
Yep.
The first of 2.
First of 2.
And
so
you saw him.
I did.
3 days later.
Yeah, which was incredible. So
Yeah.
that kind of will lead me into talking about the tournament that I just played in this last weekend on Sunday. Was down in Pendleton. They have a beautiful facility down there. In fact, I'd like to get some people that were responsible for building that, because it's a state-of-the-art facility, beautiful lighting, great courts. But we had kind of an MLP style event there, and Marcus came.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep. So his girlfriend Becca was on my team. So myself and Becca, and then Natasha, who's one of the strongest ladies in this area, and then Ryan, who's been on the show before. That was our foursome. So Marcus came and supported us after
3 days after a brain surgery.
And
Right?
brain surgery, and I mean
That's amazing.
He had the scars to prove it. So
Did he still have staples in?
I didn't look that closely,
Okay.
but they were.
So, but he has another surgery next week. When this comes out, it will be a few days after this comes out, after you're hearing this.
Right.
So just keep him in your thoughts and prayers that
As he's recovering.
all of that goes well.
So the first one was like more
They're
more invasive, where
Yeah.
they actually like went
They
in.
implanted the-
So his scars are like 2 giant half circles on the top of his
Yeah.
head. But then this next
This
one,
one's like more neck.
yeah, and it's more painful because they
Yeah.
have to like connect some wires down
Yeah.
to. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Modern medicine,
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. But it's great to see Marcus. So I want to talk a
So
little
if
bit
you
about
hold
this.
on, if you want to
Yeah.
hear his story though, you can go back and listen to
Yeah.
our
What,
other podcast.
you remember what episode numbers those were?
No.
Way to put you on the spot, huh? But
Okay.
you can find them.
They're called Marcus Woodhouse.
You'll see his name on them. I want to say they're somewhere in like the teens.
I don't know. Yeah.
So this tournament was in like a straight up true MLP style tournament. So some of you are probably not familiar with MLP. I've watched it enough to kind of know the gist of it, but it was way different when you're actually like playing in it and see how that goes. So there's a coin flip to begin each match, and then you choose either the home side or the away side. And like baseball, it's the advantage of being home because you can kind of set your lineup. You can see what the other team does first. So you play your men's matches, or I guess it goes women first, and then men's, and then you play the mixed. But if you're the away team, you have to say, okay, here's our mixed matchup. Then they respond and say who they're going to play. So there's some strategy in that.
Yeah.
Now, those 4 matches then, so men's, women's, and the 2 mixed, if a team obviously wins 4-0, game over, or 3-1, game over. But if it's split 2-2, then it goes to that dream breaker. And so that's a singles matchup where you're playing 4 points at a time. And then the away team gets to respond to the home team. So it's like the home team had the advantage on the initial 4, but then in the dream breaker, the home team has to set their lineup, which can be, again, fairly strategic. Usually you kind of stack your team to be your top player goes first, second player second, so on and so forth.
I didn't know that.
But, yeah, because it gives them more opportunity because you just keep rotating through. So it's not like a set amount. Because I'll get into that in a second, but it's the same format as the other way, as the regular matches where it's games to 21.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to put your best player out there first, so he gets more chances. But there can be some strategy if you have like a real big differential and you just know one person's maybe my top player is far superior to anybody. Well, then I might throw my worst person against them and just throw those 4 points away and say we're going to try to win the others. So there's definitely strategy in that. You may want to learn this because we're playing against each other in an MLP style event here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, coming up in a couple weeks.
I don't play singles. I don't know.
Well, you're gonna have to learn. You hope it doesn't go to any dream breakers. But I love that aspect of it because I love strategy. I love the scoring. So in MLP style, again, some of you know this already, but a lot of you may not, but you stay on the same side. So you don't switch sides after you score a point. If you score a point, it just you switch servers, and it's rally scoring. So it's a very different format, but I really liked it. In fact,
that's interesting.
Natasha and I, when we were playing last night at our regular weekly play, she said, man, she goes, I loved that. She's like, I'd rather play right now. She wanted to play that way.
Why not do that sometimes?
Right. I think
in rec play, if you're playing for 2 hours, why not play a couple games?
Now, it does make you stay on the same side, so it is nice in rec play to kind of play both sides,
true,
left and the right.
Both sides, yeah.
But it's fun to pull that out, and some people were even saying, the last 10 minutes we should just do dream breakers and just kind of play singles points, and it'd be kind of a fun way to...
That'd be so fun.
Yeah,
keep things interesting.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit.
I like that.
And then the other aspect of this, and I didn't get into these details with you, but so you freeze once you get to 20. So you can't win you have to win on your serve, in other words. So once you get to 20, you're frozen, and then
you're frozen in rally scoring. Scoring on your serve.
Yeah, you can only score on your serve once you get to 20. And the other team can still score regular until they get to 18, and then they're frozen as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then it just kind of creates this dynamic where it allows for a comeback, kind of helps it, but it doesn't make it too easy.
Yeah.
So we did have a game we were getting drilled in. It's 20-10, but because we were able to stave off several of their serves, maybe 4 or 5 in a row, we got up to 14 or 15. We weren't winning on our serve, but we were getting those points on their serve. So it kind of got us closer, and then I had an overhead that was wide open to get us one more point, and I hit it wide, and I was so ticked.
That's devastating.
It was devastating.
I'm sorry.
So how our team did was overall we got third.
You did, and hold on, you won $25. I didn't know that.
I know, I forgot to tell you that, and then I heard somebody tell you that last night. And I was like, what did I do with my money?
Yeah.
I bought an Indie Pickleball Club shirt.
Oh,
because I needed another T-shirt in my life,
I was just thinking that.
Right, but it was really cool. It was red. I thought it was supporting the
Okay.
organization that put it together, so I like it. Okay. I don't have many big, nice red T-shirts. Maybe just one or two. I like T-shirts.
A million T-shirts.
Matt is to T-shirts as Abby is to shoes. Plants. And shoes.
I don't have that many shoes.
Whatever.
You have more shoes than I do.
Anything else I wanted to say about the MLP? I don't know. Oh, just the people there were awesome.
Yeah, you had a great time.
I did. So James Tapley, who I had played with Jules in that other team event, was there. His team ended up winning it all in a pretty dramatic fashion. Oh, and I didn't even mention there's $1,000 on the line.
Seriously.
So our team won 100, but the winners won 1,000. So third overall was good. We don't have to say how many total teams there were.
You don't. That is irrelevant.
Irrelevant. But there were more than 3.
There were more than 3.
We were happy with our performance overall.
You had a great time.
And we
That's
had a great
what matters,
time.
honestly.
And the people there were great.
Yep.
And just loved every minute of it.
Yep.
Would have liked to play a little bit better, as anybody who plays pickleball always says. But,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Enough of that. What else do you want to talk about?
Your face.
let's talk about my face. So last night,
We're gonna.
you tell the story. I've talked enough.
Excuse me. We're gonna just revert back to that left side, right side episode we did, and that's, I don't know when that was, but go back and look for left side versus right side, and there are just kind of roles you can play on the court as long as you're both in agreement to that.
Yes.
So last night,
Like a written contract.
like a written contract or some sort of understanding, Matt is playing with somebody and I'm playing with Josh.
We can say her name. I was playing with Peggy.
Okay, Peggy. Yeah.
She was very sweet today.
Oh,
she
yeah,
reached out
did she?
twice to ask how my face was.
She's so sweet. So, but Peggy is a force in her own right. I mean, I would say that. Like,
Yeah.
she,
Strong player.
she's very
great
strong.
forehand.
and she's kind of like the dominant player, I feel like. Well, when two dominant players meet on one side of the court, somebody's bound to get hit in the face.
Stuff can happen.
And it was Matt Brandenburger got whacked in the face last night.
Yeah.
I felt awful watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
I was scared immediately when I got
Yeah.
hit. I thought there was going to be blood
Like
and a cut.
like a slit face. Yeah.
And it was I would take full blame for it. I was
Well, because
playing,
you were trying to dominate the court
yeah.
and you didn't need to.
Yeah. I was poaching way too much.
You were.
And I was on the left side. Peggy actually prefers the right. For somebody with such a strong forehand,
She likes the angle.
she
though.
likes that angle. So when
Yeah.
she gets that ball on her right side, so on the sideline there, she can take that thing
Yeah.
cross court.
But
and
her
drop
backhand
it.
is sufficient enough
Yeah.
that she doesn't need to.
I didn't need to
You
be
didn't. You didn't.
acting like an idiot, and I was
You
more
wanted to win.
I was more embarrassed and I was more frustrated than anything.
Yeah.
Let's
Yep.
take a quick commercial break.
Yep.
We'll come back and you're gonna give us an injury
Quick tip.
prevention
Quick tip.
and then we're gonna talk about some summer etiquette
Yes.
before we go.
Woohoo.
So be right back.
Between the two of us, we've had 7 orthopedic surgeries, 4 cortisone injections, and countless injuries that have required physical therapy, and we are only in our early 40s. So where do we go when we need physical therapy? Indiana Physical Therapy.
That's right, Abby. With 22 locations in Fort Wayne and the surrounding counties, Indiana Physical Therapy will be there to get you back to work, play, and life.
Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Visit indianapt.com for more information. Welcome back to one more game presented by Hoosier Pickleball. The dogs are under control, and so now we are ready
Yeah.
to hear Abby.
So,
Your injury prevention tip.
I have a good episode that barely scratches the surface of injury prevention, so we will revisit the topic. But I was just gonna say that I still, personally, I still struggle with like some specific joint pain, shoulder and elbow. But that's been a nagging injury that I've had for years, and pickleball just doesn't help it.
Yeah.
And then I have my knee injury. I tore my ACL. Anyways, excuse me. And I just started doing some more like Pilates type in the past like 2 or 3 weeks. Instead of heavy, I lift weights and play pickleball.
Yeah.
Instead of lifting weights, I shifted a little bit more towards like Pilates. And I can't believe like how much better all of my joints and my body feels in terms of,
Really?
like, I think it's been helpful for flexibility, and I still stretch, but it's more functional. It's more like active stretching and core stuff. It's been so good. So that's just my
awesome.
little tip. I've just
Little
seen
plug for Pilates.
Yeah, I just Googled like Pilates for athletes,
Okay.
or got on YouTube,
Oh,
and I
okay.
did I just typed in Pilates for athletes.
So maybe if you could link a couple
I can
of
link
those
a couple, yeah.
videos in the show notes, that'd be great.
Yeah,
But
they've been helpful.
that does remind me of when I did P90X, which
Yeah.
I affectionately call P9 45x.
P40 because you
Yeah.
made it 45
I think
days.
50 days maybe,
Yeah.
but yeah, same thing. When I was consistently doing the yoga that was in that, which is a pretty intense yoga,
It's super intense.
and there was a stretching video that you did weekly as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, I've asked you actually recently.
I know, we need to find those.
Yeah, we need to find where those are at because those were great workouts, great videos
Yeah.
as well. All right, good tips on some injury prevention. Can't do enough of that. I mean, absolutely essential to being
Yeah.
successful and longevity playing, no matter what level you're playing at. Trying to be diligent to do those stretches, to do some strength training is going to
Yeah.
help you when you're out there on the courts.
Yeah, I mean, I even know enough people who are like, don't even play pickleball, and they're like, my back hurts. Like, you should probably stretch.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you being a physical therapist assistant for years, you don't have a whole lot of time for people who
I don't.
complain, this is me, and don't
But-
do anything
right.
about it.
I'm like,
all right,
I've told you a million times what you should do.
you have.
Okay.
This is true. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about summer play etiquette. With the sun's been shining, we've been excited about just getting out on the courts and not playing inside all the time. And so we thought this would be a good chance to preload
Yeah.
some etiquette things
yes.
to talk about.
Yes.
So why don't you launch into this and I'll
Yeah.
share some thoughts as well.
So, unfortunately, the people who need to hear this are probably the ones who aren't listening.
Why? Maybe they're listening.
Maybe they are,
Yeah.
but if this is you, but you have my permission to pass this information along to people on the courts.
Are you saying only the most sophisticated, smartest pickleball players listen to our podcast?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I got
And
you.
so this is more ignorance.
Okay. So tell your ignorant friends to listen to our podcast.
Yeah, because I got some tips.
Right.
Okay. When there are crowded courts, this is key. When the courts are crowded and
Yeah.
there are people waiting, don't play singles. That
Yeah.
drives me bonkers.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
That's hard. I mean, because people who, maybe don't even play doubles. I mean, I think,
My key, though, when the courts are crowded and people are waiting.
yeah, that's true. It depends how crowded.
Right.
If we're talking like 4 or 5 game waiting list, then I can understand that. If it's just one at a time and you want to jump on a court and play a quick
Yeah.
game, maybe mix it up, do one singles, one
I'm
not
I'm just asking for some situational awareness.
Yeah.
Read the room.
free. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is also another one.
Okay.
When the courts are crowded and people are waiting, don't bring your small children to mess around on the courts and then leave their trash behind.
Yes.
I've also seen that.
We have seen that. It is not our job to pick up after your kids.
No.
Our kids, we have to pick up after all the time.
Right.
So
I'm not picking up after your kids either.
if you bring your kids, that's great. We bring our kids. We try to tell them to pick up after
Right.
themselves. And if they don't, we will do it.
Right. And also my 5-year-old is not running across all the courts and just whacking at balls.
Yeah.
Like that's also what I'm saying is don't bring your small children when the courts are crowded
Mm-hmm.
to take up a court and be out of control
Yeah. You did mention the trash thing though too, didn't you?
and leave their trash.
And leave their trash. Yeah.
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 Two things.
Yeah.
That's a twofold.
But let's also say, bring your kids. We take our kids to the courts quite a bit. We love to hit around with our
Yes,
kids,
but there's-
introduce them to the game. But maybe if you can, try to pick your spots,
Yes.
not a time, not a Saturday morning where it's going to be super crowded.
Madness. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next.
So when there are crowded courts and people are waiting,
Yep.
don't bring your new boyfriend or girlfriend and just goof around on the court and giggle.
Date night, date morning.
No.
Not the time.
No. Like, play your game, but if you don't know how to keep score, get off the court.
Okay.
Because you're just going to be there for 30 minutes.
Man, you're kind of sounding like a curmudgeon.
Okay.
A little bit.
I'm okay. I've seen all of these things happen, though.
Okay.
Of people who don't know how to keep score and they're just messing around the court and there's like 20 people waiting.
Right. Or
So this is my plug for indoor play, honestly.
yeah.
To pay to play.
Yeah.
I have 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I need to go home.
Right. Yep.
So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to Wildwood and play
Yeah.
because
It is hard, and I've seen rules posted places from time to time, but it really is like you have to give some people the benefit of the doubt that they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like they come and they think, oh, we got a court and we're just going to stay on for 2 hours and not
not
leave.
rotate out. Yeah.
But they don't really know. I mean,
Yeah.
the first time I came and played pickleball, I didn't know exactly how
Right.
that works.
So
but
we can educate them.
yeah.
And we can be nice.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to,
Yeah.
ask people or kind of show them how things go. And if you're somebody who is new and somebody has to tell you that,
That's okay.
Be understanding. Have some grace.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when the courts are not crowded,
Okay.
okay, and there is an obvious foursome,
Ooh, okay.
don't walk over there and wait to play.
Like, hey guys, can I get in?
Hey guys, can I play?
Yeah. Now,
Is that mean of me?
a little bit. So I'm going to go the other side of this as well. And I'm going to say, as one who regularly sets up a foursome or a group to play and really is competitive and wants to keep in that foursome, I need to have some chill sometimes too and mix in. If somebody has the guts to come up and ask to play a game with them, but then say, you know what, we set this up. We'll
That's
play.
a nice way to
we'll play,
address that.
Yeah, we'll play one or two, but to just assume to mix in that's a tough one. I mean, it's again that fine line between you don't want to, some of us take it seriously and we play, to win, and we've set time aside to go play. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I even feel bad saying that, but I think you can do both. I think you can have those games where you mix in, but then also have the games that it's okay to say, hey, we kind of set this up and we're gonna just stick with the four of us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so this is our funny story. When the courts are empty, but there's two people
Yeah.
who look like they might be drilling,
Yeah.
please maybe ask them, hey, are you drilling?
Yeah.
Or just leave them alone.
So here's the story. We went early one morning and
Okay,
we were going to drill.
Like 6 a.m. We were up.
I mean, the alarms went off at 5, right? We did this a few
Yeah.
times through the winter when we were really wanting to play more, and
We wanted to go drill.
yeah, so we got up early while the kids were still in bed, went for an hour and wanted to drill before work, before the day started. And one morning we got there and we set the net up. We're there ready to go. There was another net that could have been set up. So in retrospect, here's how I think we could have handled this better. But we're drilling and two people come and they're like, hey, do you want to play? And we're like, yeah, we kind of were caught off guard. And I think a fair response would have been, oh, we're actually drilling, but feel free. You guys can play here and we'll set up the other net. We
Yeah.
could have said that.
In the moment, we didn't think
But
of
we
that.
didn't think of that. If it would have happened again, I think we'd have said that. But this was a time we smiled, said sure, and we played with them.
With people who,
They could be listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
so you should be very careful.
yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Who are learning.
Yeah, they were learning.
They
And
were learning.
So it was.
It was just one of those moments where I was really sad that I had gotten out of bed.
Yeah.
I had wished I was still in bed.
Yes. Same. But at the same time, it's also.
We smiled and had a good time.
And we're trying to grow the game of pickleball, and so we hopefully showed
And
a
grow
couple.
as humans.
And grow as humans. So we're just being honest. We're honest on this podcast. But we were, I mean, they would not have known that we were annoyed at all.
I don't think so, no.
We smiled. We had fun with them. We split up and we played some good games. The one guy, bless his heart, was hard of hearing. So
Yeah.
it was a challenge. It got our day started
Sure
off
did.
on the right foot for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Okay, so actually back to, I think I accidentally put this twice. When a group wants to stay together during open play, let them and don't be offended. So just in general, if there's a foursome who wants to stay together, that's okay.
You just really want to make that point?
I think I accidentally wrote that twice.
Okay.
So,
And,
don't move paddles around at a crowded court without someone's permission.
ooh, man, you want to tick some people off. I feel
Move
like
their paddles.
I feel like I've seen this all the time where people start moving paddles around, or they have a threesome and then they grab somebody else's paddle and put it in there. Like, just don't touch. If it's not your paddle, don't touch it.
That goes for a lot of things.
Right? Keep your hands to yourself.
yourself.
We have to tell our girls this all the time.
That's like from kindergarten.
Don't take it. Don't take it.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it then. So yeah, that can be very tricky, lining those paddles up and trying to keep everybody happy. It's really awkward when there's not a group of 4 and there's like 3, and then somebody comes off the court and they're like, hey, we need one more, and maybe they don't want to play with those 3, and it's like,
Oh, humans.
Yeah.
Humans are complicated.
It's very complicated.
Yeah, so this actually goes for all year round.
Yeah.
Everything.
I like that you put this at
I
the end.
know.
Okay.
Don't make bad calls.
Don't make bad calls. That's year round,
just
inside
for
and
life.
out. Right. Don't make bad calls. And if somebody makes a bad call on you,
Shrug it off.
shrug it off. Don't argue. Let it go.
Unless it's a tournament, then we can fight.
Then we can play. Okay. All right. That's it. That's a good
Yeah,
list.
yeah, you have
I mean, I'm feeling a little self-conscious. Like this list makes us sound super grumpy, but I'll just put all the blame on you and say, you sound really grumpy with this list.
Okay.
You're going to own it though. You don't care.
No, I don't.
Abby don't care.
Because if I go to open play, I'll play with anybody.
Right.
You know that.
And yes, I will say that you
Yeah.
are one of the best at that.
I love playing with lots of different people. So I guess that's why I feel like when I have my foursome and I'm ready, I'm here, and I have a certain amount of time. I have 5 kids at home. I got to get home. I got to get my play done.
Yeah.
Give me this time.
Yep.
That's
That's
all
fair.
I'm asking.
That's fair. I'll give you this time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good job. Any others? I think we covered pretty much.
I'm sure
think
that
everybody
everybody has something.
Yeah. So put some notes for us. Leave
Yeah.
a comment. Tell us what we missed. But I think that's
Yeah, because we did we mention this? We've done a rec play etiquette before.
right
Okay, this
So
is just our
there's a little bit of-
specific outdoor summer.
for summer play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will add one more because when you're playing outside, there's usually a side that's better than the other. Don't always be the person who chooses the side where
The sun is not.
the sun is not, or where
wind.
the wind is benefiting you one way or the other. Switch it up. Be cool.
Be cool.
Be cool.
That really is just my piece of advice in
Yeah.
life.
Maybe that should be the name of this episode. Is
Just be cool.
just be cool. Stop
I say
it.
that to my kids all the
Stop
time.
it. Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Just be cool. All right. Should we leave it there?
Yeah, well, something we love.
Okay.
I
Something we
forgot
love.
about that.
This just popped in my head because I'm about to get off this couch and go get
Cookie
a
dough.
few of them. Well, you said I couldn't have the
I
cookie
said
dough.
you couldn't. I thought you were going to steal it.
So I'll go with Oreos.
Oreos.
Yeah. Cookie dough would be number 1.
I know, but they're
If
for
I
our
could-
daughter's birthday.
I know. Okay. So I'm loving all things sweets. I'll go with Oreos this week is the
Yeah.
thing I love.
Yeah. I was just going to say, we've been having club volleyball, and the way to get to the club volleyball, all three roads we take in Fort Wayne are all under construction down to 1 lane.
Yeah.
And
This
it's
is things we love. What are you doing?
I'm
here?
loving volleyball's over.
Okay. And you don't have to take
And I
that
don't have to
route.
do this anymore.
I mean,
this
literally,
adds like an hour, 2 hours every day to our life.
literally that route
Yes.
is a little less than 20 minutes on a typical day. And it took me 38 minutes to get home after I picked the girls up tonight. It was,
It's the worst.
it was partially my fault because I was trying to I cut through a parking lot that I thought would help.
right, and it
And then
didn't.
it didn't, and it
Yeah.
messed it. It was not great.
So
and
yeah.
I also had a 14-year-old girl in the front seat who's never driven a car before.
Right.
But felt like
But she can tell you how.
She might know a better way.
Right.
So.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, that was fun.
So I am so thankful to have so much of my life back by not driving to volleyball anymore.
And just I'll say I'm thankful that we live in a city that, I mean, some people deal with traffic like that
Oh, my
every
Lord.
single
I
day.
couldn't. I can't.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I can't. And then I had actually written down, but you stole my thunder earlier. I'm just loving that I'm ready to sell houses, but the state needs to issue my license.
Yes. For many reasons, we need Abby to sell some houses. So get on it. Get on it, Abby.
Yeah.
And anybody in the Fort Wayne area, again, call Abby. She will do an incredible job. All right. Thanks again for joining us. We will see you next time on One More Game. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, Hoosier Pickleball, Indiana Physical Therapy, and Pickleball Rocks. In addition, a big thank you to our production company, Coraggio Media, and the 95.7 WELT studio in beautiful downtown Fort Wayne. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts or find us on YouTube at One More Game Pod. That's the number 1 More Game Pod. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to leave us a 5-star rating to help us spread the word. You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok at Hoosier Pickleball for all kinds of fun, tips, tricks, and other family nonsense, and also some great discussion. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.